Let's say for a moment that the old prophets were right. That Siener van Rensburg, with his piercing visions of war and fire, saw something real, something waiting on the horizon like a thunderstorm over the Karoo. That Johanna Brandt, scribbling her mystical revelations, wasn't just spinning tales, but catching glimpses of a future already written in the dust of time. That Nicolaas van Rensburg's visions, Jacobus Malan's dark premonitions, and the warnings of Anna de Beer weren't the imaginings of isolated mystics, but pieces of a puzzle that only now, in the unfolding chaos of the modern world, are starting to make sense. If they were right, then the Afrikaner nation is standing on the edge of something big. But what exactly? Before we answer that question, please help us grow and subscribe to this channel. Also like this video and hit the notification bell. Siener van Rensburg saw things. Strange, terrifying things. He spoke of a red bull and a black bull locking horns, of Afrikaner blood soaking the earth, of cities burning and people starving. The red bull, some say, was communism or foreign intervention. The black bull, internal conflict and racial strife. He warned of a time when Afrikaners would lose everything, their land, their power, their sense of security. He saw an exodus of white people from South Africa, an endless line of ox wagons disappearing into the horizon. He saw a woman in black weeping, a symbol of grief, of mourning. And when he spoke of flames devouring the cities, many now whisper that he foresaw the riots, the crime, the destruction of once great places. He saw a time when Afrikaners would be despised, treated like strangers in their own land, hunted and persecuted. Johanna Brandt's prophecies carried a similar weight, but added a different dimension. A hidden refuge, a mountain stronghold where the Afrikaner remnant would endure. She saw a time when the cities would no longer be safe, when those who refused to leave would suffer. But there would be a group, she said, that would flee into the wilderness, guided by faith, waiting for the moment to rise again. Some say this place is real, hidden in the Drakensberg, in the vast Karoo, or even further away, beyond the borders of South Africa. Others say it is a metaphor, a prophecy of a people turning inward, rejecting the world that rejected them. Jacobus Malan, a lesser-known but equally enigmatic prophet, spoke of a great betrayal, of a time when the Afrikaners would be abandoned by those they once trusted. He spoke of a leader who would lead them to destruction, of false promises and deception. He spoke of a moment when everything would seem lost, when even the faithful would begin to doubt. Yet he also saw a great revival, a return to old values, a people reforged in the fires of suffering. His words, largely forgotten, now seem eerily relevant. Anna de Beer's visions were fragmented but spoke of a great migration, of Afrikaners leaving South Africa in waves, only to return one day stronger, different, prepared for what was to come. She saw foreign ships in Cape Town's harbour, soldiers in the streets, a government in disarray. She saw fires in Pretoria, mass unrest, a struggle between factions. But she also saw a golden dawn, a period of peace after the storm. She spoke of the Afrikaners rediscovering their roots, their faith, their unity. And here we are now, looking at South Africa today. Some say the first parts of the prophecy have already come to pass. Load shedding is plunging cities into darkness. Farmers are living behind electric fences and sleeping with rifles by their beds. The government is struggling under the weight of corruption. The economy is sinking, and whispers of instability grow louder each day. The signs are there. The black bull is restless, and the red bull is circling. Some have tried to brush these visions aside, calling them the rantings of an old Boer general or the dreams of an eccentric mystic. But others, they are watching, waiting, preparing. They speak of a time, maybe not tomorrow, maybe not next year, but soon, when chaos will truly descend. Van Rensburg described a time of 3 days of darkness, when fire and smoke would cover the land and only those who stayed faithful would emerge on the other side. Some believe this is symbolic, others take it literally. Either way, the fear lingers, the warning remains. But prophecies do not only tell of endings, they tell of new beginnings. The same visions that spoke of Afrikaner suffering also foretold their survival. Van Rensburg saw a white ox leading his people to safety, a symbol of a new leader, someone who would rise from the ashes. Some believe this means a great Afrikaner resurgence, a return to their old ways, their old lands, their old faith. Others see it as something subtler, an Afrikaner people who no longer seek power but rather carve out a separate existence, a quiet but strong survival. Then there is the question of foreign intervention. Van Rensburg spoke of a European nation, possibly Germany or the Netherlands, stepping in to help the Afrikaners at their most desperate hour. Some say this will be military intervention, others believe it could be economic alliances, a safety net when all else collapses. Some whisper that it will come not from the West but from the East, from Russia, from nations once seen as enemies but now viewed with wary interest. But how, when, and if this will happen, no one knows. And so, the question remains, are we living in the final chapters of these prophecies, or are they mere myths stretched and reshaped by time? If they are real, then what comes next is already set in motion. The storm, the fire, the struggle, but also the rebirth, the survival, the great return. Perhaps the future is not something already written, but something that will be decided by those who are awake and listening. Perhaps the final chapter is not about fate, but about the choices the Afrikaners will make. If history has proven anything, it is that a nation can rise from the dust just as quickly as it can be scattered by the wind. And in South Africa, the wind is constantly changing. Thank you for watching. Please remember to like and subscribe. It really helps our channel.